This summer, as we made our way to Cedar Point, I wanted to challenge myself to this year ride all of the rides at Cedar Point. It's something that I've never done before, and I just really wanted to challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone and do it. It's just, seeing parts of the park that I don't usually see, riding rides I don't usually ride. I thought it would be fun. Then one day, my dad challenged me to ride all of the rides in one day. Now, I spent a long time walking the park, checking out early entry, doing all of these things to formulate a plan, and I did. And I finally attempted it. So this video is my attempt at riding every single ride at Cedar Point in one single day. All right, this is it. This is the day I attempt every single ride. I think 50 rides here at Cedar Point. I'm in my lucky jersey. I've got my lucky bracelet on. Let's go. We're in. We're on our way to the Wild Mouse. Let's do this. It's the day. Today's the day. I knew that in order to get this done, I was going to have a plan and actually be organized. So I created this timeline from 9 a.m. to 9:50. That is including early entry. I honestly don't know if it would be possible without early entry. Maybe that could be the next video. All right, so we made it on the Wild Mouse within like 10 minutes, which was awesome. And then we went to Gatekeeper and we walked right on it. But we finished the ride and we were like stopped waiting to go into the station. And then the other train that was going up the hill got stopped. So we were stuck there for a little bit. It's 9:25 right now. I think we can still make it to Millennium. And like we're still on track, but I was like shaking in my boots. I was so worried, but we're still good. All right, so we just got off of the Millennium Force. It was down, so we got on like pretty quickly after it restarted, so it wasn't too long of a wait. And we're walking to Maverick right now. And we just passed Thunder Canyon, like the water raft ride, and it's closed because it turns into Cornstalkers for Halloween. So they're like preparing for it already. So we'll just have to count that one as like, would I have been able to do it? Yes or no. Hopefully Snake River Falls is still open. I'm not really sure. So my early entry went perfectly. We did get stuck on the Gatekeeper, which was really scary, but it was no big deal. So we checked off Wild Mouse, Millennium Force, and kind of a bonus, we got Gatekeeper. But one theme that you'll see is some of the rides were closed. So we were not able to do Thunder Canyon the entire day. I chose a rainy day right before school started because I'm losing time, I have to go back to work. So I knew that I was taking some risks, but as you'll see in the video, those risks were kind of big and I did miss out on a couple. All right, we just got off of Skyhawk, which was like one I have not ridden yet, like ever before. And I was terrified like to ride it because it looks so scary, but it was not as bad as it looks because you can't tell how high you're swinging. So a success. We're gonna check out, Steel Vengeance was down earlier. There was a huge line. I don't think Mine Ride's running yet. It's about to rain. So I might wanna do Gemini now because I know they closed that one like 100% for rain. So we'll see what the play is. So my 10 to 11:30 time slot is where it gets a little bit sticky. Maverick, we got in line just fine. We were able to do it. But the plan was to go right from Maverick to Steel Vengeance, and the Steel Vengeance was closed and there was a huge line. I mean, it was gonna be at least an hour, probably even longer. So I decided to just skip it. That was a big risk that I was taking, but I wasn't just gonna wait there and do nothing when the ride wasn't even opening. So we went over to the Gemini because I knew it was gonna rain, obviously, and they never opened. So we were able to do most of Frontier Town. We got the swings, the Wave Swinger, and Skyhawk. We were just missing Steel Vengeance and the Mine Ride. I figured since we were coming back for Steel Vengeance, I could wait for the Mine Ride. So that's where we went. Oh yeah. All right. Steel Vengeance is like a crazy line, so we went over to Woodstock Express. I tried to go on the Snoopy 500, but you need a kid. I didn't realize, so I was literally in line about to ride it, so I'm gonna count it. But I guess it wasn't even one that I was supposed to be on anyway, so we're good still. So I was really lucky. I was able to do the Woodstock Express and the Peanuts 500, as you heard. They said that you needed a kid. I actually don't believe that because the guy like really wasn't sure. He was like, I'm pretty sure you need a kid to ride this ride, but there's nothing online or on the little sign that says you do, as opposed to other ones where they tell you like you can't ride it unless you have a kid. So I'm just counting it because I like literally was about to walk onto it. Gemini was still down at this point. Pipe Scream was down too, and so was the boat ride Snake River Expedition. So we're kind of getting into the ones where I was like starting to worry a little bit, like maybe these won't open. All right, I scammed myself. Valravn on the app said 15 minutes, and so we ran over to go catch that line. It's an hour and a half. So we're on like the complete opposite side of the park that like we planned to be at. So we're gonna try to do some of the kiddie rides over here and then head back to Camp Snoopy, and hopefully Steel Vengeance opens and it's like short line at some point. All right, I just tried to run on the corkscrew because it was like 5-minute wait, but it started raining. Not really, it's like sprinkling and they closed it. So I'm gonna go get a pretzel and hopefully do some of the kiddie rides next. Get them out of the way. It's not looking great right now, but there's still a chance. So that was definitely a common theme, was there was like the lightest rain that I have ever felt, and they were closing rides. So I couldn't do corkscrew, but I was able to do the monster and the balloon race and the wind up, the little baseball swings. And then Magnum opened. It was closed because of the rain, and we were able to get right on that. So I also got that one done. All right, quick update. It's raining a little bit more. I rode the monster, and the guy told me to pick up Justin Fields in Fantasy. I don't know if I buy it. And then 2 of the Camp Snoopy rides. The Magnum just opened up, so we're gonna hit that. It's 12:40. There's still a chance. The run is not completely dead yet. All right, we went on Linus's Beetlebugs. It was our last Camp Snoopy ride, so I'm officially done with Camp Snoopy. Still on track, kind of. Steel Vengeance, it's a big hiccup, but we'll get there when we get there. It was not that bad. I was really nervous for it. The last time I rode Beetlebugs, I was not okay. It put me out of commission, but that time was not as bad. So after the Magnum, I was able to just complete all of the Camp Snoopy rides. Beetlebugs, the bus. Oh, those were the only 2 that I had left. Snake River Expedition was still not opening. Gemini was still not opening. Pipe Scream was still not opening, so that was really frustrating. And Steel Vengeance still had a long line. So we were kind of over there, not really knowing what we were doing, but it all worked out. All right, the run is still alive. I just copped a 40-minute wait for Steel Vengeance. It's a little bit longer than I thought it was gonna be and that I wanted it to be, but it's done. So now the next biggest line is gonna be Valravn at the end of the night. So right now I think we're gonna go Snake River Falls to get it over with, because I am not looking forward to getting soaking wet, and we'll just go from there. So I was finally able to do Steel Vengeance. The app said it was a 20-minute line, and so we ran over there. It ended up being 40, but that's okay. The app was being really unreliable that day, which was a disappointment. And then I also ended up doing Snake River Falls. I mean, completely soaked. It was crazy. And then we started making our way up to the front. All right, we just got done with the Power Tower. Now on the website and on the app, Power Tower is listed as 1 ride. So we chose the shortest line, which was like shooting up. And then I also went on Super Himalaya, I think since the last time I updated, and Snake River Falls, so I'm like soaking wet. I don't remember if I told you that or not. So we're gonna try to run Planet Snoopy a little bit. Gemini's still down. There's a couple, like Gemini, the boat ride, Pipe Scream, and the Sky Ride are not running right now, so I don't know if those are gonna be possible, but we can kind of see at the end like if I would have been able to do them or not. So good work. So this is when things like started to turn in my favor. I was able to get on Super Himalaya and the Power Tower, and then make it will. And everybody ready? All right, I started making my way through Planet Snoopy. I rode 2 rides and then the Gemini opened up. It's the first time it's been open all day. So we're gonna run over there, do it really quick. Hopefully that also makes like the Mine Ride line way shorter, because it was at 50 minutes the last time I checked. 50 for the Mine Ride. It's insane. So while we were over at Planet Snoopy, I was able to ride the Snoopy's Express Railroad and the Woodstock's Whirlybirds before we saw that Gemini opened up. And we luckily were able to get on to that. All right, we finally made it on Gemini and the Mine Ride. The Eagles were a really long line, so I nixed it. If I have time and I did everything else, I can come back. I'm not sure how likely that is, but we're gonna keep trucking along, go back to Planet Snoopy, get those small rides done, and then the rest, it'll be coasters, but hopefully coasters with short lines. Wah, wah. We were super excited because the Sky Ride was going, and we were like pretty close to the top, and it's shutting down for high winds. So we're going back to Planet Snoopy. I've got my buddy bag! Yay! Okay. It's like 6 o'clock, maybe a little later by now. I did all the Planet Snoopy rides. I did the Matterhorn. I took a little break because I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. This guy came in and said, absolutely you can. We can do it. We've got 16 rides left. Let's go. So while I was at Planet Snoopy, I was able to do the deep sea divers, the Flying Ace balloon race, and the Matterhorn, which isn't, it's technically on the boardwalk, not in Planet Snoopy. However, the Peanuts Road Rally was closed when we were there. I should have done it earlier in the day, but I didn't realize that they were going to close. So that is one that I missed out on. All right, so we stopped for some food. We're doing this. We did Calypso, Ocean Motion, the carousel, the one at the front of the park, and the Sky Ride got back open, so we're doing that. It's kind of scary. I don't like it. But yeah, it's not raining anymore. I think it's going to, but it's fine. We're not going to finish it today, but we got pretty darn close, and I'm very proud of that. So now we're just going to see how close we can get. With Brandon there, he definitely rejuvenated me and made me realize it was possible. So we did the Calypso, the Midway Carousel, Ocean Motion, and the Sky Ride. A couple rides that at this point we knew like were not opening were the Ferris wheel and Windseeker, as well as Pipe Scream and Snake River Expedition, the boat ride. So all of those did not open. They never opened that day, or if they were open only in the morning when we were in the back of the park. So I was unable to do those. All right, we just got off of Max Air, which is another one of my firsts. It was really fun. It wasn't really that scary at all, actually. We also did the Kitty Kingdom Carousel, the Blue Streak. Yep. Now we're gonna hit the smaller rides like Troika, Scrambler, and the bumper cars. And then all we have left is a couple coasters. It's looking possible. It's looking possible.
We also did the Sky Ride.
I
already did that.
Yeah.
My bad.
So we were able to do the Blue Streak. We also did the Raptor, as well as the Kitty Kingdom Carousel and Max Air. So it was definitely starting to pick up. The pace was picking up, and all of the rest of the roller coasters typically have short lines. So that's why I saved them for the end of the night. We just got off of the Scrambler, so we're done with the boardwalk.
All scrambled up.
Yeah. We've got a handful of coasters to do and then a couple like loose ends to tie up. We've got an hour and a half to do it, right? Yeah, an hour and a half to do it. And I think it can be done, so we'll see. So we did Troika, Dodgem, and the Atomic Scrambler. And then we were faced with a really tough decision. We had only about an hour and a half left in the park, but we still had to do the train, the Flying Eagles, Rougarou, Iron Dragon, and Valravn. So, and the Corkscrew. So we had to make a choice. Do we go on the train, ride it back, do the Flying Eagles, Corkscrew, Valravn, or do we get Rougarou and the Iron Dragon? I made the choice to prioritize the coasters. So this was the part of the night where we ended up saying no to the Flying Eagles as well as the train, which is really sad, but it had to be done. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give the train an X as well as the Flying Eagles. But we got a night ride on the Corkscrew. We did the Rougarou, the Iron Dragon, the Cadillac Cars, as well as our last ride of the night, Valravn. All right, we ended the night with Valravn.
Yay.
I don't know the exact total. I rode like 40 something rides. Unfortunately, there were some that were closed.
Yep.
And
Never opened.
there were two that we just missed out on, so
Really awesome though.
we'll give this a B. Really awesome, really doable. I can do this. On a better day with less rain and more open rides, I can do this easily. I'll see you then. So there was a total of 50 rides possible. We did 42 of them. They gave us a score of 84%. So after all of that, I didn't do the complete thing, but I made it really, really far and I was really proud of myself. I won't really be able to do a complete version until next summer because of the water rides, but it definitely is probably going to be harder next year because of Top Thrill 2, so we'll see. But I had a lot of fun doing this. I feel like all of my years of going to Cedar Point prepared me for this. And I really, really am glad that I did it. It's something that I've never really done before. We usually take Cedar Point pretty slow, so it was fun to kind of do it at a faster pace. But yeah, thanks for watching.